So, I'm on my first road trip in France. It's something I've been planning long before I even got my full licence. 6 days, me on my Bonneville, and my mate on his Multistrada. I'm looking forward to seeing new places, using a bit of my GCSE French, and hopefully eating some really good French food. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a few questions running through my head. Like, can I ride safely on the right? Is the Bonneville the right bike for a trip like this? And looking at the weather forecast, were we just going to spend the week riding in the rain? Well, there's only one way to find out. So I've been dreaming about this journey long before I even got my full licence last year. So to finally be here was pretty exciting. I almost felt like some sort of explorer, which is a bit ridiculous really, considering I was only about 30 minutes into France. But it did feel like the culmination of a 2-year journey since I decided to take my motorbike test. I'd spent a couple of years watching other people head off on adventures like this on YouTube, but now I was finally doing it for myself. But more than anything, I was looking forward to seeing parts of France I've never seen before. The real, everyday France. My first challenge I had to overcome was riding on the right. I've done it loads in a car before, but on a bike you don't have the same reference points that you do in a car. In a car the gear stick's in a different place. You're sat on the opposite side of the car, so you've got all of these things helping you. I was a little bit worried I was going to pull out of a petrol station and instinctively ride on the left. But after the first 20 minutes of going through roundabouts and a few junctions, it started to feel pretty natural, and was then able to start enjoying the scenery. And France really delivered on that score. Rolling countryside, winding roads, vineyards, huge hay bales, and beautiful little villages. It was exactly what I was hoping for when I was planning the trip. One thing that really struck me was just how vast the countryside felt. Looking out into the distance, you really got a sense of just how big the country is. Our first stop was a little farmhouse just outside a place called True. Our host gave us a really warm welcome and immediately made us feel at home, even offering us some of their leftover dinner. Next to the farmhouse was a river and an old mill. It was a great location for our first night. It was exactly the sort of place I'd hoped we'd find, and it felt like the perfect place to start the trip. The weather though had other ideas. Before we left England, the forecast looked pretty wet across most of France. So we decided just to book the first night's Airbnb. And then every day we'd wake up, have breakfast, check the weather forecast and book an Airbnb in the driest direction. Then we just switch on Kalimoto and get it to take us the windiest route. At first it felt a bit risky. But after we'd managed to dodge the rain on the second day, we realised we'd found a good way of travelling. And there was something really relaxing about having no fixed plan, because normally you're focused on getting somewhere and it feels like an objective, whereas this trip was different. So if we were riding around and saw an interesting village or a cafe, we'd just stop. And a few times we came across some memorials to Allied forces tucked away off the beaten track, and moments like that kind of made the best part of the whole trip. Looking back, the only downside to having no real plan was when people asked where did you actually go, and it was quite difficult to answer. We hadn't spent the week ticking off famous tourist attractions, we'd spent it experiencing France, and for me that was far more rewarding. We got chatting to locals who told us about a nearby lake. Another bloke proudly showed us his Russian motorbike and sidecar. Airbnb hosts recommended little local bistros we'd never have found otherwise. And one host, Eric, even mowed the grass behind his house so we could safely park our bikes in the back garden. And it was little everyday moments like that which made the trip. So looking back, would I have changed anything? And probably yes. I would have liked a bit better weather, so we could have mixed a little more planning with the freedom just to explore. But if anything, this trip has just made me want to do it all again. So I've already started thinking about the next adventure, what I'll do differently, where I'll go, and how I can make it even better.